Hello there, welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video, we're going to be going back and looking at one of the ships I first did when I did my reviews. As in the original reviews, I'd say for the first maybe 10 or 20 reviews, I didn't do a breakdown and I didn't know as much as I do now. So I just thought, you know, now that I've basically done most of the ships, I might as well go back and do the originals and kind of bring them in line. So we're going to start with the one that started all, the Conqueror, or in my case, the Conqueror 3. Like always, the number after the name is the tier of the vessel. The higher the number, the better the base stats of the vessel. But aesthetically, the ships will stay the same the entire time. So this Conqueror 3, for instance, has a B-class reactor with 31 power. A tier 2 Conqueror may only have a reactor with 28. And tier 1 might only have 25. So yeah, aside from that, let's get into the review. So the vessel itself, it's a Shroud Eklund vessel, as you can tell by its well, it's big, curvaceous, you know. That's Shroud Eklund for you. They like to kind of put their armor on their ships, kind of like they kind of pack it all together, which is kind of cool. I quite like the design. It's very big. This is a very large ship, which is interesting because it's only a B class. But yeah, so stat-wise, it's got a fuel of 1100, which is, I mean, that's astronomical. Obviously, the fuel is coming mainly from those big tanks at the back. Now, that fuel is probably unnecessary. If you were upgrading this vessel, you could definitely shed some weight by tearing down that. But, you know, you don't have to, because it kind of adds to the style of it. The hull itself is got a hull, it's 1078, which is quite good for a B class. That's very respectable. And then it's got a cargo capacity of 2240, so almost 2.3k, which again, very respectable for a B class. This is kind of one of those ships where it's a very good all-arounder. It's definitely something that I'd recommend, like if you're looking for, you know, you have gotten to that point where you have some money to burn and you're looking to kind of upgrade from, you know, whatever you're using. So module wise, we've got a B-class reactor with 31 power. That's not too bad. Now we can improve that slightly. I say slightly, but we can actually improve that more than slightly. We could probably bump that up to 39 with a specific reactor. It's got a crew of 6, which again, quite nice. It's pretty decent for a ship of this style. It's got a jump range of 18 light years, which is quite low. That's on the lower end of the spectrum. I think that's the grav drive in the back there. I'm assuming that's like a Nova Galactic grav drive. It's got a shield of 93 or 930, which again, quite good. Now I believe it's using the shield model that you can increase to, like, I want to say like 300 or 1400, 1300 or 1400. So we could definitely improve upon that. Weapon wise, it's got lasers, missiles, and ballistic. It's got a pair of lasers there mounted on the front. And it's got the missile pod mounted on the starboard side, and a ballistic mounted on the port side. So the price for this, for me, it's 361,960. Now that price will change depending on the perks you have and what tier of the vessel you buy. So for instance, if you buy a tier 1, you're going to be paying significantly less, probably upwards of like 200k. Whereas if you're buying the tier 3, obviously, without perks, you're probably going to pay close to 400k. So you're going to purchase it real quick. So I found this ship here in on Neon in the Shroud Eklund showroom. I'll just show you where that is real quick. So it's just in the Neon core. It's not too far from the elevator where you kind of come up onto the level. But let me show you real quick. So here it is here, Shroud Eklund. You can see the big banner above the door. It's just over there. I'll show you. This is where you kind of come in when you fast travel, right here. So there it is over there. It's behind. See, so you don't really spot it at first because Siegfried's or Sieghart's Outfitters is just kind of, yeah. So then obviously we're on Neon, which if you haven't been to Neon, it's in Volai Alpha. There it is there, in the Volai system. You kind of come here halfway through the game, through the main quest. Obviously you can come here regardless whenever you want. But yeah, you can also find this ship other places, but this is just one of the better ways to find it. If you come here and it's not here, I would recommend going to Sol and landing on Mercury and waiting in your ship for 24 hours. That passes over like several thousand hours in game, and that will reset the vendor's inventory, and then you can just come back and go again. So we're going to quickly go to our usual spot now and do a walkthrough. Alright, so here we are looking at the ship. As you can see, it's very large. Oh, ignore that. Considering, like, it's only a B-class ship, it's funny how, like, extremely large it is. And it has a cool design to it, though. I really like it. I mean, I think the original review I did, I had mine red, and it was like the flying brick. But I used that ship for most of my playthrough, and it was solid, like, absolutely solid. So anyway, we're gonna try not to break my legs. So entryway through the starboard side. Got the Shroud Eklund entryway, which is very nice. Got a little ramp here. And got a first aid pack. In we go. It's nice that the Shroud Eklunds have the doors, which is always nice to have. Alright, so immediately we have a 1x1 storage room. It's a bit cluttered, but you know, it is what it is. And then we go up again. We have... Oh, whoops. We are in... Okay, so this is the armory slash break room for Shroud Eklund. It's like a 2x3. It's like really quite cool. So we got some weapon cases here. This is like, I'm assuming this is like an office for you know, one of the people who wants to do their stuff. Kind of like a warden. Then we come through here. Look, she's watching. She's waiting for me. She knows I'm coming at her. So we have some storage here, and then a little door for the toilet. And then we have 2 jail cells. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. Sorry about that. So yes, we've got 2 jail cells here. One there with double beds, and then we've got one over here. Now, fun fact, completely ignore the fact the core's in there. You can't close these after opening them, which is kind of a shame. It won't give you an option to close them, which she walked in their own. I didn't do that. Ignore all the blood on the floor. I definitely didn't try and throw a grenade accidentally. Anyway, so yeah, it's kind of an interesting. You've got this bridge here, or a break. I don't know why you necessarily need it. I mean, if there was like bounty hunter missions, maybe, but there isn't. There are also these little cameras, which are kind of cool. And then obviously over here we have a little office for your got some office for your like for your security guy. And then over here we have some little bit of storage. Got some ammo cases, the works. Then we take this door here, leads us to another little 1x1, and then up we go here. This is living quarters, I believe. Yeah, this is a living quarters, 2x3. We'll do a teardown at the end of the video, just know for definite. Quite like it. I prefer Nova Galactic, but this is quite nice. Got the nice little kind of L-shaped couch, really comfy looking. That's an armchair that looks like it would fall over very easily. And then we have, this is kind of a little officey area, like work area. You know, if you just want to be kind of alone, I suppose, you know, some people might. And then in here we have, I'm assuming this is just like a storage room maybe. And then we have a toilet over here, which is always nice to see, you know. Never have too many of them. Did I come up that way, yeah? Yes, I did. Okay, cool. Ship's very mazy. That's one of the only downsides I remember with this ship. I always get lost, or I was always getting lost. We have another 1x1 storage room here. We'll go and check that in a moment. And then behind here we have, oh, okay, this is a 3x3. Is it 3x3? No, 3x2 cargo room. Shroud Eklund. I've said this in a couple of my other videos. It's not a bad room. Like, it's kind of cool from like a roleplay point of view. You know, you want to have extra storage. Or from like a gameplay point of view, it's really pointless because it doesn't add anything to the, you know, it doesn't give you any crew space, doesn't give you extra storage. If this room gave you like an extra like 1,000, 1,500 storage, it would be a lot more advantageous. But sadly it doesn't, so it's kind of pointless. Anyway, on to our, I'm just going to double check. Sorry. Like, I got Alzheimer's, but I remember this was the ship that I had to like record 4 times. Because I kept forgetting rooms. And then up we go to the next area. And we have, oh, this is a battle station. I really like these. It's a CIC basically, Combat Information Center. So like, unlike modern naval vessels, whereas like the bridge is where, you know, you pilot the ship, this is where like you control the weapons and all the kind of the essential stuff, like your scanners, you know, watch out for incoming threats. Really, really nice. I quite like this room. My only kind of wish is I wish it was a 3x2 instead of a 2x2. Just because when I try to make ships, I tend to make them like 3 wide. Just 'cause I feel like that fits best. But yeah, it's kind of tricky trying to fit it into the build otherwise. And over here we have another 1x1 storage room, I believe. And then we have the mess hall. That is, well, messy. Oh, give me them. So we got sandwiches are for the high clearance. There's me, Sam, and Cora. Who's classing as high clearance? Okay, yeah. I don't know who wrote that, but yeah. Okay, yeah, that's kind of a little bit of humorous. We've got like seating here for 16 crew, which is kind of cool. Now you'll never get that many in the game without mods, but it's nice to have. And then we have a little kind of an officer room, some seating with a television. The television that doesn't work. Apparently we can't power that. And then obviously over here we've got a little put your food tray away and all that, which is quite nice. And then we have the kitchen area with an actual cooking station, which is quite nice. We have another... This works. I know it works. Don't lie to me. Does it not work? Oh, wait. I see an option. Wait a minute. Ah, there we go. So you gotta, like, look at the sink, which is really annoying. Come on, Bethesda. You couldn't have, like, made the hit detection of it a bit bigger. Then we've got some fridge here from storage. You want to store your milk. Ultra pasteurized. What does that mean? Interesting. Apparently normal pasteurization isn't good enough. And then we've got more storage here, which is kind of nice. Quite like that. And if we head back this way. And up we go. And we are on the bridge. Okay. So... I really like this bridge from a piloting point of view. We've got a lot of visual range. It reminds me of like a kind of a, you know, like a freighter from like IRL. How they have those big bridges that stick above so you can see everything. Now, I don't like these chairs here because when you're flying around, your crew, because they don't have a workstation like to kind of block their sight line, they'll just chat away to you. But some people might not mind that. I personally don't mind it usually, but it can be a bit annoying. So we're going to take it off, see how she performs. Okay, it's very big. I feel like this ship should have been a C-class. I'm trying to think, off the top of my head, I don't know if Shroud Eklund have any, like, big C-class vessels, like, larger than this. You can see it's quite slow taking off compared to the ship. At least it feels slow. It might just be because of how big it is. So, as always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5. So, for the sake of this review, we're not going to be using 5 power. So, weapon-wise, we have those 2 laser weapons mounted there. We have a single missile launcher mounted on the starboard side. And then the ballistic mounted on the port side. Quick speed test. We get up to 150. Okay, that's kind of respectable. Boost speed of almost 600. This is quite fast in terms of its boosting. Agility, now that's a whole different story. We'll do a quick pitch test. Pitch. It's not bad. It's probably like a 5 or a 6. Yaw. Yeah, yaw is about the same, about 5 or 6. And then roll. Yeah, roll's quite slow. Got a lot of engines though. Anyway, so we're going to head back down to the planet and do a teardown. Alright, so here we are in the teardown. So we got a very large ship, as you can see. We had to divide it into 5 parts. So on the top here, we have the Kon-Tiki B300 bridge from Shroud Eklund, 300 cargo for crew station. Behind that, we have the 103DS mag inertial reactor from Dogstar, B class, 31 power. Now, as always, there is a far better reactor. I'm kind of... The fact this is like a B class and it's like a tier 3, you would expect it to have a better reactor than 31. So if we go with the B class, the one I usually go for is the 104DS. So this is like one above this. I don't know why they didn't just put this one in. So this gives 39 power, an extra 8 power, and it gives a little bit more hull, about 200 extra hull. Now price range, this costs probably an extra 20k, depending on perks. And then it requires you to have Starship Design 4, which isn't too hard to get, but yeah, it's just a potential upgrade. Then for the weapons, we have a pair of these Reza 10 PHC UV lasers from Shinigami. B class, 600 range, 2.5 fire rate, 43 hull or shield damage, and 4 power. Not too bad. And then we have the CE-39 missile launcher from Ballistic Solutions Incorporated, B class, 4800 range, 1 fire rate, 109.19 hull and shield damage, and 3 power. And then over here we have the Mauler 107L autocannon from Horizon Defense, B class, 960 range, 5 fire rate, and 25 hull damage with 4 power. And then we have this Warden SG-300 shield generator from Sexton Shield System, B class, 8 power, and 930 shield. We can definitely get more with shields, so one of the ways you can go is if you've joined the Vanguard quest line up to like the second or third mission, you get access to this bad boy, the Vanguard Bulwark Shield. It's B class, 12 power, so an extra 4 power required, but it gives you 1450 shield. That's like the second or third best shield in the game, so it's definitely an option. Now you can also stick with this Warden Shield, and I believe it goes up to, yeah, so we can go up one tier to the Warden SG-400. 2 extra power and gives an extra 100, almost extra 200, which isn't too bad. Now it costs an extra 10k without perks, and it requires Starship Design 4 as opposed to 3. So, and then the only structural piece we have here is the Shroud Cap C aft top. Go to the next part of the vessel. So we have this Stroud Mess Hall 2x3, Stroud Battle Station 2x2, and then we have a Stroud Storeroom 1x1. Now, it's weird that they put a bracer here. You could take off this bracer and put another, like, 2x1 location here if you wanted to, you know. And then for the engines on the back here, we have a pair of these SA-4330 engines from Slayton Aerospace. A-class, 2 power, 15,240 engine thrust, 3220 maneuvering thrust. Pretty decent engines. The 2 power requirements pretty nice. We could probably slap a few more on this. Structural pieces, we have the Shroud Nose Cap 2B for top, and the Shroud Nose Cap B for top. And then we have 2 of these Shroud Cap A. We've got Starboard for top and Port for top. And then we have 2 of these Shroud Cowling 3LA, that's port, and then 3LA starboard. Then we have 2 of these Shroud engine mounts, mounted 1 on each side. And then 3 of these Cap C aft top. Now, something to note, when I got this ship first, I don't know if they have the structural piece here. No, they don't. There's like a piece you can get, a shroud piece. Basically, it combines these. It's a 3 instead of a 2, and it just looks a little nicer and more streamlined. That's something just to keep in mind of, you know. Now, next we have this second middle section, I suppose. So we have the Stroud Cargo Hall 2x3. Another Stroud Companionway 1x1, and then Living Quarters 2x2. Yet again, we have room here. We could add another 2x1 if we wanted to. And then on the side here, like obviously they've added these here, like from a lore point of view, it keeps the habitats protected, so you know you wouldn't be able to penetrate through the habitats. But if you wanted to add more, you could definitely remove these and add more, you know, get your job done. Now for cargo, we have 2 of these 20T hauler cargo holds from Sexton Shield System. 760 a piece, and they're both mounted there. And then for the aesthetic pieces, I've hit the, okay. The aesthetic pieces, we have a Stroud engine braking, 2 of them. We have a Stroud nose cap E. And then we have 2 of these Stroud nose cap C, a port 4 and a starboard 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these mid bracers. And then we have 2 of these, 10 mid bracers. We have 2 of these Shroud Cap B, port aft and starboard aft. And then we have 3 of these Shroud Engine Bracer Bs, like so. Now, if we go to the second last, or the second last. The only aesthetic pieces we have here is the Shroud Brig 2x2, and then we have a storeroom 1x1. Now we have more engines here. We have 2 more of these SA-4330 engines. We were saying about them before. Let me just actually double check. Are they the same engines? Yes, they are. Okay, cool. So yeah, same engines. Pretty nice. And then we have the 800T helium-3 tanks. 2 of these give 550 fuel each, which is astronomical. We have a Nova Galactic grav drive, B class, 10 power, 25 grav jump thrust, which gives us 18 light years. Now I would swap that out for something more reliable. So for the B class, we could go all the way up to this one here, which would, is that? Yeah, this one here seems to be the best available. This brings up to 26 light years, which is a lot more substantial. Gives you a bit more room to maneuver. Let me put the other one back in though for now. And then for storage, we have 2 of these Store Max 30 cargo hold from Dogstar, 210 each. Now obviously you can swap these out if you wanted a little bit more storage, because there is the red version, which basically doubles the storage. Now it costs a little bit more. It's almost it's probably about 4 times as much, and then it requires Starter Design 1, but it doubles your storage. So from 200 to basically 430. Now for the aesthetic pieces, again, you've got 2 more of these Stroud braking engines here. We have a Stroud nose cap E there. Stroud nose cap C port 4 there, and starboard port. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 mid bracers. Yet again, you could hollow out all these mid bracers and add more storage if you want to do more modules. You'd probably save yourself a bit of potentially a bit of weight if you just put a load of habitats here. You'd also get more hull. And then, did I count that one? 18, sorry, I'm a bit blind. And then we have 2 of these here. Stroud cap B, starboard aft, and Stroud cap B, port aft. And then at the bottom, the only habitat module we have is this Stroud storeroom 1x1 here. It would snap in there, like so. And we have this Deimos docking bay underneath. That mounts underneath, just so you can see where that is. So we're gonna grab that and just put it down there just so you see it. And then we've got 2 more of these engines here. The SA, same engines again. Pretty decent. And then for the how many landing gear do we have? We have the Stability Pro landing bay docker there. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 of these AccuLander 11 landing gear. Give 2 landing thrusts, which is really nice. And then we have the Stroud cap A for port 4 bottom, and then starboard 4 bottom, and then we have a nose cap B for bottom and nose cap 2B. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Stroud mid bracers, 2 of these Stroud engine mounts there, and then as always the 2 engines. Now we're going to put the ship back together and do some brief upgrades. So first thing we shall do is we're going to upgrade the reactor and the shield. So we're going to go to the reactor real quick. Like I was saying, I would recommend using the higher version of the reactor just so you can get that extra power would be pretty nice. And then for the shield, we're going to go with the Vanguard shield just because it's pretty nice to be honest. It's a very nice shield. We're going to slap that right up there just so it kind of gets out of the way. Now we're going to remove the weapons because, as always, this is a big vessel and turrets would be your best friend on this. You can kind of make it into a battle barge. So what I'm going to do is, I'm probably going to have 2 sets of turrets on this bad boy. Actually, we'll get to the turrets in a minute. I want to fix up the rest of it first. So for the grav drive in there, we're going to remove that grav drive and we're going to replace the one I was mentioning. Grav drive. Where is it there? We're going to go with this one here. Now, there is a 4,000 one. We don't have it available here, but it would probably bring us up to 28 or 30 potentially. Now, something you'll notice here is we have our engines are full. But is there anything we could potentially do? So currently, the engines are basically, each set of engine is giving us about 45k thrust and 9k maneuvering. Now, it's going to be kind of hard to improve upon that. These engines, Slayton Aerospace engines, are pretty efficient. We're going to look, though, to see if we can get anything. these ones here. These ones here would provide us... We could potentially... 360, yeah, see... We could definitely hit the engine thrust, but maneuvering would be kind of problematic. And then the Nova ones again, we could potentially hit it, but... Yeah, it's going to be hard to kind of increase the mobility. It's not bad though, you know, they get the job done. Like I was saying for the cargo, I'd probably swap these out and replace them with the... Just with the bigger ones. You're not gaining much weight. Just put some extra cargo is always nice to have. And same again, move that one there. Now, for the weapons. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to put our first set of turrets down. So I like to use particle turrets as they are the most efficient turrets in the game. For, well, particles, just, yeah, in general, they're pretty efficient. So we have a couple of options here. I'll just show you real quick. So we have that one and that one. And do we have a third one? I don't think we have a third one. No, we don't here. There is another one somewhere else. Now, stat-wise, these ones are slightly better. They have a B-class, 3600 range, 5 fire rate, and they do 16 damage. Whereas these only do half the fire rate, and they do 29. So this does a little bit more DPS, but I prefer these ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount them. Now, what I would recommend, if you have it, so we don't have any on this sadly, but Tayo basically make these little, you've seen in my other videos. They basically make these like equipment plates, and they kind of look similar to a porthole, and they snap. It's pretty much there. I would recommend getting them, because then you can snap the turrets on top of them, and I would put like one turret there, and then I would put another turret on this side, just because I quite like the aesthetic of this piece. I feel like it looks like it's kind of made to reinforce the turrets. And then for 2 more turrets, what I would do is, see again. Right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to really quickly jump to where we need to go. Just because I want to show you to the full extent of like what I was thinking. So we're going to just put 4 of these on for the time being, and we will be right back. Alright, so here we are, Neon. So, perfect. So, what I was looking for is these bad boys here. These are a phenomenal piece. I just call them weapon hardpoints because they feel like, well, they look like weapon hardpoints. And then as you can see, we can attach these weapons here, like so. And then we're going to put another one over here. Now, what you could do... there's 2 there, and really quickly, before we go back to the weapons, I was just explaining what I would have done with this. So you see here, if we go down and we look for the nose piece, so there's a 2, but there's also a 3. This one here. So I would just swap this out for this one, just because I feel like it looks better. It gives it a more kind of a steeper slope, personally. Yeah, I just think it looks a bit nicer. Now, obviously, you might not like that. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just quite like it. Can we flip it underneath? No, we can't. Okay. So, yeah, now, for the rest of the weapons, now you can go about this a couple of ways. So, we can obviously make use of more of these. Because we want to make this like a battle bus. So, what I would recommend doing... Keeping... in line with the center, them 2 like so, and then them 2 like so. Now, because we're in Neon, we might have access to other turreted, yes we do, so we have access to, where are you? Come on, well, you're here. So we have access to these Eradicator beams. And what else? So just the Eradicator beams. And then we've got obviously these ones. So obviously the Eradicator beams do 19 and 5. So these are like statistically better. But obviously they require more power. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the Eradicator beams like so. Like that. Perfect. And then we're going to put another one over the other side. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these ones here. But I'm going to mount them forward and mount them backward like so. Just so to break it up a little bit. Now, you don't have to. You can have them all facing that way. It doesn't really matter what way they face because they'll rotate. They'll basically look wherever they can aim. Obviously, if you do it more that way, you've got more of a broadside look. Whereas if you do it more this way... So I don't know, I just think it looks a little better. And then these two turreted weapons. Now, you might not like having turreted weapons. I personally love turreted weapons because I think they're really, really powerful. So what I might actually do here, you know what we're going to do. So we're going to... This reactor, we're going to hide this reactor. And we're going to put another turret up there. So what we're going to do to hide the reactor is we're just going to slip it down here. Like so. Now, obviously, if you don't like the reactor there, you can pull this piece out. Stick it in there. Actually, that's probably better. Just stick it in there, hide it. Yep, perfect. Now, we have this area up on top. We're going to put that down there. And then we're going to move. So, what we do is we're going to look for, going to go to the structural, and we're going to look for a shroud. Where are you, Mr. Shroud? Mid-bracer. Perfect. And we're just going to slap this here. Now, it doesn't want to play ball, so we're going to have to do a little technique to get it there. Now, obviously, you won't need to worry about this if you have the shield. I'm pretty sure will it sit without the shield? Yeah, it'll sit without the shield. So if you don't want to hide the shield, you know, you don't need to worry about it. But I personally like hiding the shield just because, you know. So we're just going to do the usual... little technique. Okay. Gonna put that there. We go up one. You're not gonna snap because this doesn't have a snap. Bethesda, why does this not have a down snap point? Okay, this actually probably won't work with this snap point. We're gonna have to go back to the drawing board, which isn't too much of a problem. Let me see what other structural pieces we have here. I'd rather not use tile pieces. Wait a minute. Haha. There we go, this here. Slap that in there. And will you flip? Oh, but you have a snap point, don't you? Do you have a snap point underneath? Yes, it does. Perfect. Okay. So, to make kind of a long matter short, what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be mounting one more of these up on top. Making use of a... I need that bottom piece, please. Yes, this. Perfect. No. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to mount this up here like so. And that just gives us like another turret, just so we have like maximum turrets. Now, obviously, you could probably move these turrets back a little bit. I had them here initially just to kind of make them more in line with everything, but you don't need to do that. Like so. And we're going to... I mean, we could probably... Let me see, where can we hide this bad boy? Ooh, what is my camera has gone to... What the hell? Right, so we're going to hide this shield generator in... It just snapped to something, but I don't know what my camera's doing. My camera's being very finicky. Alright, we're gonna hide it in here. So what we're gonna do is just move this out here. Shield there, like so. Grab this, bring it in, flip it, flip it, flip it again till it goes back to the usual spot. And one more flip, and there we go. Let go of it. Press A to confirm, and we're good. And then we have our turrets. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, I want to shoot stuff. To which, if you think that, fair enough. You know, you might like to shoot stuff. So what we actually might do here... we're gonna add some weaponry, some railguns, but I have an idea. This design I just thought of, we're going to... Oh, whoops. No. Will you flip back? See, I don't understand why that doesn't flip back to me, Basha. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go and get a structural piece, and we're going to get these here, like so. like that. Perfect. And then what we're going to do... Do we have access to... Alright, so we want to put some weapons here. But weapons are slightly problematic, so we're going to... We'll be back again. I'm going to jump just to one last place just to fix this. Because there's like one piece... Sorry, I'm away from the mic. There's just one piece I need to get. Alright, so we're back in Alpha Centauri, New Jameson, New Atlantis rather. This is kind of one of the issues I have with shipbuilding. You have to constantly jump around to get like the pieces you want. And we're coming back here for one piece in particular. This piece here. As I feel like it is the perfect place to mount our main weapons. Now, it doesn't look amazing. Well, I don't mind the look of it, but you know, it could be better. So there's two ways we're going to go about this. We can either make use of these PB-30 electron beams, which are A-class, 3600 range, 3.49 fire rate, and 13 damage and 3 power. But if you've mounted the Vanguard shield, you might as well just go complete and absolute overkill. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount... We're going to mount all of these here. Now this is going to take some fiddling. Come on. It's a tad bit finicky, this is. You basically have to like fiddle with it for quite a while to get it to snap there. So he doesn't want to snap there. But there is snap points in there. Alright, so I managed to get them working. It's a bit finicky. So basically the way I placed them was I started by placing these ones at the back here. And then you basically kind of have to fiddle with them. It's a bit annoying, but you kind of have to just go back and forth and eventually they'll snap into place. And then to add some to the front here, because you can't normally snap them like so, I just basically did the duplication technique to snap them. Now there is a bit of clipping, obviously. But it's not too bad. It kind of like looks like one, like, you know, big weapon. And yeah, I know the ship has, yeah, we're good. We'll fix that in a minute. And then we're gonna slap this back in here, like so. Now, completely overkill, weapon-wise. But yeah, anyway, like this is the gist of the vessel. Like there's certain things you don't have to do, obviously. This is just kind of an idea, like what I would recommend doing if you're kind of new starting off. The turreted weapons are handy because like your mobility is not too low, but it is a quite big ship. And having like 2 sets of turrets are quite good because it basically allows you to kind of deal with targets without you having to face them. And then obviously you have this little kind of like main battery, like a spinal weapon mounted, like kind of like a animation of like kind of like similar to like, you know, the Mac cannons from the Halo ships. But yeah, so that's the updated review. As always, thanks for watching. Let me guys know what you guys think of it. Have you guys flown the ship? I know, like, when I did the original view, I don't think I asked my questions, because back then I didn't really think anyone was going to be watching them. But like I was saying, the Conqueror is a really good ship. I used it for most of my first playthrough. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe if you like sort of content, and check out some of the other reviews. Bye-bye.